about Ghostbusters, the original, why else would I be talking about Ghostbusters if I weren't talking about the original? I feel that this movie was a solid film. Loved it. I didn't enjoy it the first time I watched it though, last year.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Because I was like, not sure about this, I was half doing something else, but it's one of those films you've got to be fully immersed in, and as soon as I watched it again I was like, this was great. However, I do feel this movie is a tad overrated, because people hype it up as one of the biggest and best 80s movies. I said biggest, meaning it is the biggest, one of the biggest names from the 80s. However, for me personally, it is certainly not the best. I think there's a few 80s movies that are way above this one, but it does add something to that era of the 80s. I just want to say, guys, before we get into the rest of the video, thanks for the support and the continued support, but anybody that has not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, as we want to get more content out for you guys, and the only way we can do that is with your support, and you can do that right now by supporting the channel, by hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. Let's get back to the video. I think overall this movie is very synonymous around Halloween, and is one of the better family movies to watch around Halloween, I would say. I would say though that the time period where the CGI comes from is one of those where it looks so ridiculous watching now, but I bet that looked amazing back in the 80s, so I can't really criticise it because they probably had the cutting edge technology back in 1980s, but now when you look at it you're thinking that looks a bit ridiculous, but it actually adds something to the film. It doesn't take anything away, the crappy CGI. I think it actually adds to the ridiculousness of this entire film, of these slime creatures and these ghostly beings floating around the place. And to me, without those weird CGI effects, would this movie be as good? I'm not sure. There's a lot of other stuff that's good about it, don't get me wrong, but that is one of the key elements where it's so memorable because of how weird the CGI is. And on the weirdness, I want to talk about the ending of a giant marshmallow man. If we thought that the ghostly being things and ghostly creatures were a bit fucking OTT, then you definitely would have thought that the marshmallow man would be OTT as well. And to me, on the massive marshmallow man, I did think, wow, they've gone from one element of ridiculous right to the next. And to me, any other film, I'd have turned around and gone, that does not fucking work. Do not even try it. But with this one, anything could have happened.
Wait a minute, did you say anything? Anything. Anything? Yes, anything. Anything. Anything.
Anything could have happened. You name it, a massive asteroid, they would have made it into this film and made it work. This is how ridiculous this movie actually was. However, it worked. It was always going to work. Because if you think of the general idea of Ghostbusters, you're looking at a team of people going out and busting ghosts. So like police, but for ghosts. And you're thinking, that idea sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, seems all right. Then you add in the fact that it was made in the 80s, that just adds to the flavours that you're going to see in this film, and the ridiculousness just all comes together. Like, oh, fuck it, let's chuck a marshmallow man in there. Yeah, let's chuck in these weird slime CGI things. That movie works. And then not even to forget the great chemistry in between the main four was just fucking great. I also want to mention the soundtrack. Come on, the soundtrack was awesome. And imagine this movie without this iconic soundtrack, without hearing Ray Parker Jr.'s class song Ghostbusters playing in the background and blasting out. And I think this movie wouldn't be the same, and neither would the 80s without that song being played. And to me, around Halloween now, this is one of the most Halloween-y sort of songs and films, so it has a great blend to it. It matches well with each other and just provides the movie with a bigger trajectory than it did beforehand without that soundtrack in there, because to me it would be very mediocre, if I'm being honest, the film without the soundtrack in those moments that matter and just elevate it to a different stratosphere. And I think that's what this movie offers. And I mentioned it in several of the reviews like Shrek 2 and even Shrek 1, that with these massive soundtracks it just lifts the entire film. It might have been it's an okay film, but this just takes it to the next level where you're just thinking, wow. So to summarise this iconic film then, I do believe that this movie is a tad overrated, and I have mentioned that before, but I can't disagree with the fact that this movie is easily a 7.1 out of 10 and a world-class film. So let me know down in those comments down below, please, what your thoughts are. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it terrible? Is it amazing? Let me know down in those comments down below, please. Also, we have noticed not enough people have been smashing that subscribe, and you can do us a big favour by smashing that subscribe button, smashing that like button, smashing that notification bell, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Laters.